saved. And in the darkness can come quick. The dangers in the anger and in the hanging on to it. We are love. We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace. We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. And tell me what it is that you see. A world that's full of endless possibilities. And heroes don't look like they used to. They look like you do.
So the song is part of our theme tonight, which is Human Rights Shabbat. As Rabbi Rachel Kahn Troster explains, December 10th is International Human Rights Day, marking 70 years since the passage of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on December 10th of 1948, 7 months after the creation of the State of Israel, and 1 day after the passage of the UN Convention on Genocide. When TRUA, which is the organization that is the rabbinic call for human rights, was founded in 2002, Rabbi Jerry Serrata told Rachel Kahn Troster that one of the original goals was to educate the Jewish community about the history of human rights and its direct connection to the Shoah and other civilian atrocities of World War II. This would inspire us to observe Human Rights Day as a Yom Tov, a sacred occasion, which ultimately was the origin of Human Rights Shabbat. So our special guest tonight is Rena Maduro, and she is going, ooh, yes. She walked in, and I thought, gee, that looks just like Rena. Actually, it was Rena, and she's going to light the candles for us, which is on page 120 and 2 in the smaller book. I'm going to turn on the mic for you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, Rena. And Morris is going to lead us in the Kiddush. So let's get this here down. Page 123 and 5. She can bring it to you. Yeah. Bring the mountain to Moses.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho באהבה וברצון חינכי לנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תהילה למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון חינכלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן.
At the beginning of the book of Genesis, we find this very interesting verse. God rested on the seventh day from doing any of the work. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, and ceased from all the work of creation that God created. It ends with this infinitive, God created to do, which is not typically how Hebrew is written. Of course, this intrigues the commentators. The 18th century Italian commentator Moshe Chaim Luzzatto offers us this insight. In his introduction to the Kabbalah, Luzzatto writes, "It is therefore obvious that the original creation still needed to be completed. This is the meaning of that God created to do. God started in order that the work should be completed by humankind." As Rabbi Alan Berkowitz explains, Moshe Chaim Luzzatto is teaching us that God intentionally left creation unfinished and desires that humankind take up the task. We humans were not only created during that first week, we were inaugurated, elevated, and tasked to be God's partners in creation. God started the sentence that God created to do, but we are meant to finish it. By leaving the verse unfinished, and God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy and ceased from all the work of creation that God created to do, the Torah begs another question. To do what? How we answer that question is where we figure out what it means to be God's partner in creation. Wherever there is imperfection in our world, people suffering, an ecosystem in distress, systemic injustice, there are unfinished spaces that call on us in our role as God's partners. And we continue with Salam, which is on page 657 and 353. 353 if you have the smaller book. Salam, which is Arabic.
Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam, salam. Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, Ojavu shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Ki ba'moed, ki ba'moed, ki ba'moed, ki ba'moed. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu, Ojavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is based on the idea that there are a few common standards of decency that can and should be accepted by all people, all nations, and all cultures. Written in the aftermath of the Shoah and the other atrocities against civilians during World War II, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was unanimously approved in 1948 by the General Assembly of the United Nations, with 8 countries abstaining but no country dissenting. Here are the first 10 articles of the Declaration. Article 1, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 2, everyone is entitled to all rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Article 3, everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Article 4, no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Article 5, no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 6, everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Article 7, all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination and violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. Article 8, everyone has a right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. Article 9, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. And Article 10, everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and
Shemediku deshabarichu le'elam min kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata.
follow that, or you can follow the black numbers, which are the second set. I'm sorry, it's so confusing. So the Baruch Hu is page 264 in the fat books and 146 in the thinner books. And we rise. So I'm going to read a piece by Danny Siegel, and it's called Why Synagogues Have a Prayer Book. My special edition here. And this is based on something in the Talmud that says that synagogues need to have windows. To see the heavens, of course, and remember their origins, and whose they are and whose we are. To see light and recite Shema, Yisrael, hear, O Jews. God is one long. And at the ending of the light, to begin the day again, the darkness bringing on another light. It is always but a few hours away. To count the stars, to close Shabbat. to love the Creator through blossoms and birds, and through the lowly hedge and the towering trees, and through the quickening shatter of the woods, to stand in awe at the snow's silent fall, and know the Maccabees won because right makes right, says the God of righteousness, and to keep one eye out for the hordes on foot, on horseback, and to remember always the boiling minds of ancient pharaohs and latter-day pharaohs laying their plans. To know Pesach is near, freedom is upon us, to see the commonplace, business and strolls and shops, the cars, the trucks, the people in slickers and boots going about their daily affairs on a drizzly day, eating and drinking, and yet angels in so many ways, to take what is inside out of the marketplace, to the marketplace, out to the cafe and the store and home, passing by to see in, to go in to hear the words spoken and sung, and to speak and to sing true words, to remember the source of the light and the stars and the blossoms, and to know the Maccabees' might is in the light of the eternal light, is in the scrolls of the ark. So we always have windows to know that we don't just commune with God, but we go out and do something about it. And we continue with Ahavat Olam, which is out of love, God gave us Torah, page 266 and 148.
Me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem, le'elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Great, I heard everybody.
You heard everybody. Everyone's ready. Sorry, are we having a little bit of a problem over there with the network? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but they were frozen. You guys were all frozen. So sorry about that, everybody on Zoom. Another reason to come in person. You don't get frozen pictures. Okay. Facing our fears and exhibiting moral courage is a key to ensuring that universal rights are guaranteed for everyone. Our forefather Jacob demonstrates just such courage. Our Torah portion for this week is Vayishlach, and it includes the encounter after 20 years of Jacob and Esau. You may remember that the last time these two brothers were in the same place, Esau threatened to kill Jacob because Jacob stole the blessing of the firstborn. Now they'll meet again, and Jacob does not know whether Esau is still planning a hostile act against him. So the night before, Jacob is alone and fearful. He wrestles with an ish, a man. Maybe it's an angel, we're not sure. It says in Hebrew, ish, which is man. But certainly we can say that Jacob